In today's video, we're going to talk about a man who had a huge impact on my life by making me really mad before I even met him, and how he became a true friend and why he had such an impact on my life, I believe. I'm talking about James Yeager, and that's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me for today's video, which is going to be a little bit different. I've been really busy at my plumbing contracting business over the past few weeks, and I just got back from SHOT Show, been playing catch up, and I really haven't had time to get caught back up with my production schedule. So I was talking to my friend John at Hog Holsters today about different things, and that came up. My YouTube channel came up. He said, look, why don't you just make a video about something that really had an impact in your life and share that with people? And so I thought, that's a really great idea, because I've been really wanting to share my thoughts about how I met James Yeager and what kind of impact he had on my life, really, since he passed away almost 3 years ago now. I mean, it was almost 3 years ago. And I just never thought the opportunity was right. So I thought, this would be a good opportunity to do that today. So that's what we're going to do here. But first, again, thanks to John for recommending me that I do this, but also thanks to John at Hog Holsters for making the absolute best, most comfortable concealed carry holster I've ever used, the one that I trust my life to every single day, and for being the longest running channel sponsor here at Survival on Purpose, and a really, really good friend. If you're not familiar with Hog Holsters, they are 100% made in the USA, down to the screws that he uses to mount the ulti-clip to the holster. 100% made by John with just true craftsmanship, and just really great company and really great holsters. Hog Holsters stands for Helping Americans Wear Guns, and that's what he's been doing for a while now. So, thanks, John, for sponsoring the channel. James Yeager, just to mention that name still brings up internet drama. He certainly was a controversial figure in some ways, but he actually was somebody who had a huge impact on my life in many, many ways, and who became a really, really close friend. I can't even explain why, but it's crazy that it all started for me with the impact. His impact on my life anyway started with a video that I watched that he made that really made me mad. And I'm talking about one of his stupid internet gun stuff videos that he made, and this one was about press checks. And I won't ramble about it too much, but the gist of this was that press checks are the thing of amateurs, that you should know the condition of your gun at all times. He said that if you're not a professional gun handler, you should strive to become one. And at first, it made me mad, because I thought, how dare he call me an amateur? Who's he? He don't even know me, blah, blah. And I thought, well, wait a minute. For some reason, something inside me just check your ego. Hold on a minute, Brian. Is he right? And I realized, if I'm going to carry this tool that is deadly, potentially deadly, it is potentially dangerous, it is intentionally deadly and dangerous, as Paul Markle says, it should be dangerous on demand, then I should take that responsibility seriously, not just from a safety standpoint, but from a competence and ability standpoint. Don't fool myself into thinking I'm prepared to protect my family if I'm not. So anyway, that was just a shift in my thinking from that one video, and which I'd heard him say it before in other videos, but that really brought perspective to his tagline that your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends. And that just all came together. It coalesced in my brain then. And that really is when I started, and this is like 2014, 15, I don't know. That's when I started my journey of being serious about improving my abilities and competence with this pistol that I've been carrying prior to that for decades, with basically, not a lot of thought. So, fast forward, maybe a year later, something like that, I've been really trying to focus and get better and do things. I got invited to a YouTube conference in Atlanta, which really surprised me, because that pretty small channel, even smaller than it is now, it's pretty small now, it was really smaller then. I was a little hesitant, because I thought, okay, there's going to be a bunch of makeup channels and gamers and beauty channels, because that's what's prevalent, right? Those are the big channels usually, and gamers. So, but I went, and when I got in the room, I was feeling a little nervous. And I looked back there and I saw, wow, there's that James Yeager guy at a table with a couple other guys with him, and he looks up. I'm looking around. He says, "Hey, man, come sit with us." And I was, wow, man, he invited me over there. Wow, okay. So I'll go over and see, like, this is big, because he's the biggest internet guy in the gun world I'd seen at that time. And super nice guy, just introduced himself really nice, polite, friendly, just so welcoming. I met he was there with a guy named Nate and Shelton, who is his video guy, and Nate and Shelton also were really good friends with James. So I sat with him. I noticed one thing first. I noticed how squared away he was. I mean, he had like a power strip plugged in with this stuff plugged into it. He had everything figured out. Like you could tell, it wasn't his first rodeo. And then when we stand up and do our introductions. Here's my name's so and so. My name's Brian. My channel's this, that. He said, "Okay, I'm James. I've got a YouTube channel, maybe 1 million subscribers in." That was his first channel before YouTube killed it, and he had to start over. So he said, "I'll be happy to make a video and share it with my viewers, all my followers. Maybe it'll help your channel out if you want to at lunch." And so at lunchtime, there was like a line of people around the room, and he was making 3-4 minute videos with everybody there. Everybody that wanted to make a video with him, it's just short videos, and he posted them on his channel to help people. Which I came to learn that was just how he was. He was a very generous guy. One quick story aside on that. Sometime in the middle of this process, as people are lined up, James is taking his lunch hour to help people out. Some guy about halfway back in the line was in the room, was like telling jokes pretty loudly. They weren't really funny, but he was telling them pretty loudly and getting a few people around him laughing and just interrupting while people are trying to make videos. Everybody is, right? I mean, one at a time. There's, you don't want all that in the background, all that noise in the background. And this guy was just like oblivious or completely rude. I would say rude. Well, after about the second time it happened, maybe it happened again, James went Yeager on him and pretty much said, "Let me tell you something. I've already asked you twice. I'm not going to say it again. If you don't shut your blanking mouth, I'm going to come back there and whoop your blanking butt, whatever." So, and the room got deathly quiet, and the dude got quiet and shut his mouth, and then James said, "Okay, now who's next? Let's do it." And he just back to business as usual. So I made a video with him, and he invited me to come to train. He actually invited everybody in the room. If you got a YouTube channel, come to train. It won't cost you anything. I'm gonna take a free class and be great. You can make a video if you want to. And so I told him, "Okay, I'm gonna try to do that." And he said, "There's no try, only do." So I said, "Okay, I'm going to do it then." And a couple 3 months later, I called him and said, "Hey man, I want to come take this class." He said, "Well, you need to take fighting pistol. It's the first class." So I did. I stayed in the team room in the basement of his house. He lets his students stay in his own house, it was a great experience. It really did. It literally. It sounds corny to say it changed my life, but it really and truly did in a number of ways. It changed my life in helping me to gain confidence and competence in the ability to defend myself and my family. It changed my life in starting a relationship with somebody who wound up becoming a very, very good friend of mine, and it changed my life in a way that to see how the culture that James built at Tactical Response amongst the alumni and the people there from all walks of life, how he treated everybody as individual human beings with respect unless they did something to pretty much negate that respect. He was just he was a good example of the way to treat other people, but he didn't suffer fools. So that started me on the path, I guess, to becoming a more competent martial gun user. And James actually called firearms the one true American martial art, because it really is. It is a martial art. So it's really hard for me to share the impact that he had on me. The lesson in this for you and for me and for all of us, there's a couple things that I thought were important to share. One, that don't base your opinion on somebody on what the internet says or what you might see one thing, or even if they make you mad. Be honest enough with yourself and be self-reflective enough to recognize your shortcomings, to recognize when somebody's being honest with you, and to recognize when you have room for improvement, and that you're maybe not as whatever as you think you are. Chuck Norris can hit you so hard your blood will bleed. They're still in business at Tactical Response, and they're still doing classes. They're still using James's curriculum. They still have many of the same instructors there. His family's still running the business, and I would highly, highly encourage you to check out Tactical Response and go get some training there. They have literally. I've been very fortunate through this YouTube channel to get to go to several different, very, very good training schools and very good trainers, and they're all good. I'm not knocking any of them. They're all excellent, but in my opinion, the fighting pistol at Tactical Response is literally like one of the best classes anywhere in the world. The curriculum is good. The training, everything about it is just like it's everything you need and nothing you don't. As far as helping you to become more competent and to learn how to practice, to learn how to grow, to get started on that pathway to being as competent as possible and able to defend yourself and your family. Get on their website, tacticalresponse.com, and sign yourself up for a class. Who knows, maybe I'll see you there. I really sincerely appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. I know this video's been different, but I hope it's been a little bit helpful, maybe somewhat informative, maybe even slightly entertaining. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.